Truly, you know, we went through the cycle, but that's not the answer. That is not the answer. Go back and do it one or two more times. Change the ground rules. Change it. Say, okay, what if I had to get this whole thing installed in 60 days? What would it be? What if I had to do it for 50% of the cost of this future state solution? What if I had to reduce the cycle? Set some new ground rules and go back and do it over again. What we have as a tendency is to come up with an idea and then spend all of our time to justify why this idea is good. And when you go back and say, okay, I got a new set of assumptions and redo those 12 tasks with a new set of assumptions, you come up with a completely new design which simulates all new thinking patterns, and the end result, you'll come up with something that is far better than you ever did. I strongly recommend never accept your first answer. Go back and do it over again and see what happens. It's a wonderful, wonderful result we've seen in every time that we do it. Truly, if your results look like the benchmark activities that you can go out and look what somebody else is doing, then it's worthwhile doing benchmarking. Go on out and pick up the information. But if you do it right, your process will be better than what anything else is done outside, and you won't even have to bother contacting those other. The benchmark that we did in phase 2 says, this is the minimum I'm going to go to, and you should be far better when you come out of this. Here we're going to now do a cost study, and here's an example of one that we did. Original efficiency was 2, case 1 was 0.0 to 10 times improvement. Productivity went from 12.9 hours per cycle down to 7.5. Adaptability went from 25% adaptability. We could handle special requests, and we didn't measure this one, by the way, in case 1. Cycle time went from 305 hours down to 105, and cost per cycle we didn't measure in the case 1. Look, case 2, which after we went through the first one, we found out that case 2 looked a lot better to us. We got an improvement in quality. Cycle time was, productivity improved. Adaptability was up to 80%. We didn't gain anything in cycle time. The cost was reduced by just about $200 over the original cycle. We did a third case with different assumptions, and wow, we even got better in all cases. Now, out of those, if you look at them, which case are you going to use? Well, I'm going to, it's obvious. We're going to use case number 3, right? Well, no, that is not obvious. You may be misled if you look at this. Let's go one step further. Let's look at this next. Case 1, the cost to do case 1 was $1.3 million. Cost to do case 2 was $2,000. The cost to do case 3 was $280,000. Time to do case 1 was 24 months, 6 months, 15 months. Now when you start looking at this data, even though case 3 gave you the best result, the best business case for you was 2. So you truly need to look at it across the board and before you make a decision. And that's why don't go to management with just one answer. You want to go with them with a complete picture. That's why I consistently recommend that you don't take your first answer, because if we had taken our first answer, we went in case 1, which, by the way, was the benchmark. We went out and we benchmarked the company. I'll do all 3. That really completes phase 3. Phase 4 is an implementation phase. Important that you take a nice step-by-step implementation. You turn it over, you set your feedback systems in place. We won't take you step-by-step through this. It's fairly straightforward. Going on to the next one. Step 5. Here's where we measure our gains. We do a thing called area activity analysis. If you don't understand area activity analysis, it is the atom bomb of the quality improvement initiatives, and I truly recommend you really understand area activity analysis, because in the continuous improvement, that's the heart of continuous improvement. And step 3 is process qualification. As part of the Streamline process improvement, we've developed a maturity grid, and it will take it through 5 stages to excellence in the organization. And you don't need to take all processes up to the excellence level, level 5. Some of the processes you really don't want to do, don't have to be that good. You need to define what are your core capabilities and competencies, and those have to be at level 5. Level 3 is good for many of the things like hiring or some of the things that are not crucial in your core competencies. Well, what are the advantages? What are the advantages of Streamline process improvement? Well, it focuses on setting new levels of performance. It says we're not just focusing on reducing variation. We want to see a major step forward as far as improvement in performance, where we're operating from. There's fewer tools required. It's much easier to go through it. We're really focusing on becoming real experts in a small number of tools. So you really get maximum value from the tools that you have. So it means I can implement it faster and become superior performers much, much quicker. It includes adaptability, which is the major driver of business today, being able to adapt to that changing environment that we're living in. And the use of simulation modeling is another very important facet that we see. Certainly there's a focus on getting some quick wins. We find out if you can show profit from an activity very early in the activity, you get their management attention. It really focuses on organizational change management methodology. That assures that it goes in and works. There is a focus on future state solutions, more than one, but actually looking at it from different angles. Truly, we're looking at many advantages in this over there. If you look at Six Sigma is designed to minimize variation. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and we all should be using it, and that was the purpose of it. The purpose of simplification, synthesis of streamlining, is not to minimize variation. It's a secondary impact. It's setting that new level of performance. It's designed specifically to make that major breakthrough. And this is a huge advantage that it has. Well, I talk fast, I talk loud. I hope you've got some information. I wish we had more time, and I've run over already. I know you probably have some questions. I hope you have. I hope I stimulated your interest. There's too many people listening to us for me to be able to answer your questions over the internet, talking with you. But what I would like you to do, if you got some questions, send them in to me. We've got your email addresses. Any question that comes in, we'll answer them, and we'll send them out to everybody, and we won't take your time to do it now. But with that, I would like to thank you for listening to me. I hope not too many of you hung up as we went along. So I will close by saying, have a quality day with a high degree of reliability.
Thank you, Dr. Harrington. And I'd like to thank you all for attending our presentation today. Let me remind everyone that the Harrington Group is a provider of software and consulting services for quality management. For additional information about our software, you can direct it to the harringtongroup.com website. For our consulting services, to the harringtoninstitute.com website. And as Dr. Harrington indicated, any questions regarding the presentation can be referenced to Dr. Jim at the harringtongroup.com. To obtain a copy of his books, Streamline Process Improvement, and other books by Dr. Harrington, they're now available at the Amazon.com website. The Harrington Group will be putting on a seminar shortly. It will be coming soon. It will feature Dr. Robert Swain on growth strategies and marketing insights for the works of Dr. Peter Drucker. Again, as I say, this will be coming soon. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great day.